Welcome back, besties, to the Fantasy podcast where two besties spill all the delicious tea on the books we read. I'm Callie, and my bestie is obviously Montana, and we are back with another reading recap, this time for the month of May. Before we jump into all of those details, Montana, I feel like we need to take this question out, but what era are you in?
It's hard because it's such like a tried and true. It's always been there from the very beginning,
No.
but also like, eh.
Eh?
um, I don't know. I'm feeling Reputation. I'm a little pissed off right now. So Reputation.
Oh, that's valid.
What era are you in?
That is valid. Ooh. I want to cry. What album makes you want to cry?
Folklore.
Or Tortured Poets Department. Folklore. Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably around there. Pissed off and sad at the same time. So that's where we're at.
For context, without giving context, we had tech issues. That's why we're
We had
upset.
some
It
texting.
is what it
Yep,
is. We're gonna figure it
we
out.
had some. We are. It'll be
But the
fine.
uh
Hopefully.
the mood is a little down in the moment for that, so we're gonna figure it out. But it's okay.
More
We're
context has
fine.
happened like 2 seconds before jumping on to record this.
It's
So
fine.
it is what it is. We're going to push through and do a little May reading recap. I did not do a lot of reading or even audiobooks. As you probably seen on social media, I was making our dresses for the event that we went to this past weekend, which would have been the Fae Ball event, Myths and Legends Ball. Um, and so, yeah, I was hammering out two dresses for both of us, and it was a fantastic time. However, that consumed a lot of my like brain power, and I don't know. I just kind of fell off of even listening, even though I did consume a lot of bookish adaptations. So I guess that's what I'm going to share for this month's recap. Um, do you want to start? Do you want me to start? I feel like I think I had more than you.
You've got more than I do, so
I'm trying to remember what I started with. Okay, so I think I started the month with Bridgerton. I actually feel like I started
mhm.
watching Bridgerton in April, um, because that's when I started the dresses. So it probably took a good 6 weeks to do both dresses. I started watching Bridgerton and literally devoured it. I couldn't stop watching. I think all the seasons were really great. I really like the like multiple storylines of like Whistledown plus the couples, and yeah, I don't know that I had a favorite season. They were all really good. I do have a favorite season, but it's not technically Bridgerton. The spin-off Queen Elizabeth or Queen Charlotte, not Queen Elizabeth, even though she's great too. Queen Charlotte, that series by itself wrecked me. And if you haven't watched it because it's not Bridgerton, you need to go watch it because you get so much more context as to who Queen Charlotte is and her story. And oh my God, yeah, that consumed my brain in the best way. That was where I started. Bridgerton. I don't have any interest of reading the books, so don't come at me. I know that this is a book podcast, but the show was phenomenal. I'm excited for more seasons to come.
Yeah, I don't see me reading the Bridgerton books anytime soon, if ever.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
Maybe I'll feel sporadic and read a literary piece one day, but it's not for me right now. But yeah, maybe I'll watch the show eventually. I I'm not like itching to watch it. Like, am I
Yeah,
curious about what everyone's talking about? Yeah, but at the same time, I'm just like, meh.
meh. Yeah. I don't know
I also just
why
don't
it was
have time to really watch TV without like my kids and my husband.
100%.
So there's that.
And there's definitely a lot of spice, like a
Yeah.
lot of on screen spice that If I wouldn't have been
Right.
just like in my cave of a basement, I that's not a show. I mean, even watching it with my husband probably wouldn't have happened. So it just kind of helped that I was literally down here by myself, and so I was like, sure, why not? Um, but it was good, and yeah, if you have thoughts on it, share them because, like Montana said, she's not going to read or watch, so I don't really have anyone to talk to about that one. So if you want to chat Bridgerton, I've got thoughts.
I didn't watch any adaptations, but I read two books in May, and I was like, dang, it's only two books, but I need to give myself credit because I did Releasing 10, and I did it on audio, but that one was hefty. It was still like, I think
Mm-hmm.
20 some hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
a
a
big
heavy
book.
book.
But that was the first book I finished in May. That's the thing. It's also very heavy, so it's like I can't. Again, I have my kids with me all the time, so like I can't listen to it while I'm driving or
Mm-hmm.
all that. Like I have to do it like in my headphones or at night, and a lot of very heavy topics that just makes that hard to consume so much at once. But it was a really, really good book. Also, learning that this book being Lizzie's story and Huey's story, and Lizzie being based off of Chloe herself, um, that was heartbreaking to say the least. I did give the book 5 stars because she really makes you feel like I texted Callie a picture, a selfie, and I was like, this is the face I'm making because the amount of scenes where I was just so grossed out or like given such icky vibes by what was going on because I was like, ew, no, like I feel violated and it's not even me that's going through this. So, obviously you've heard us talk about the series, and if you're reading the series, you know how heavy it is, but especially with this one, like check your triggers because it's like we've got self harm, we have sex abuse of minors, and yeah, nope. There's just we've got different mental health disorders, we've got like all sorts of stuff. So
It's a very heavy book,
it's a
which I
heavy
feel
one, but
like
I gave it 5 stars and I did on audio. So
to do that book anyway is like, yeah, you're talking about like time constraint wise, like being with kids or not having like the time to listen. Like sometimes though, it's just a heavy part, and you're like, okay, that's enough for today. You know,
right.
like you have to kind of
Hmm.
give yourself a break too, because although it's not happening to you, they are very heavy topics. So definitely check your trigger
It's a
warnings on
lot.
this series. I know
Yep.
we've been raving about how good it is, but they're very heavy books. They're very serious topics. Which
Yep.
also
Check
does
yourself
need to be talked
first.
about. It's not a taboo thing to talk about these things. It is
Mm-mm.
important to like spread awareness and all of those things. So check your trigger warnings though, because but they are really good, and you will fall in love with the characters and just devour. And talking about releasing, like now that I've started taming, um, yeah, just where I'm at in taming, they're already like hinting at the next book. I was telling you this earlier, and I'm just like, I know what's coming, and I am just having a hard time right now. There were
Yeah.
such heavy books, but so very good. On a lighter note, what did I go to next? I want to say I watched the Housemaid next. So I read The Housemaid, and then I bedazzled it because why not? I read The Housemaid, I don't know, years ago, and devoured this book. I loved this book. I adored this book. Montana knows I'm a big Frida fan, even though I like to, quite frankly, shit on these books a lot. They're all very predictable. However, nothing grips me more than a Frida book. I don't know what it is about her. I just I read them all. I don't know. There's quite a few that I haven't read, but I do love her books. So I watched The Housemaid, the movie finally, and one, the casting nailed it. Absolutely stunning perfection. They did a phenomenal job. Two, the story to the book, the movie to the book, like matched up so wonderfully. I haven't done a reread of that, so I could be wrong. but I feel like I spoke with friends that had recently read it again and they were like, yeah, matched great. And I was like, from what I remember, spot on. And I'm glad I didn't reread prior because I couldn't remember exactly how it ended. Obviously, like I knew the main part of it, but I was like, the details of how things happened, I didn't remember. So that was fun. Also, funny enough, I put it on one night and then my husband was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, just a movie. I fell asleep. That man stayed up till ungodly hours of the night finishing that movie. It was so annoyed with me that I put it on and I was like, nobody made you watch it. He also loved it, was devoured, was like totally consumed by it. So, also a great movie if you haven't watched or have no interest in reading the book. It's just a nice little thriller to watch. Pretty short and sweet. I felt like the movie was really quick. It didn't honestly even feel like a movie, it felt shorter. So, it was good. It was just to the point, I think. And then I watched Off Campus, and I have not read any of those books. Partly because Montana read the first one and was like, meh. And so I had it, I picked it up. I don't know. I think it's been a while. I picked up the first one. Did I get this one? Someone sent me this one.
Mine's far away.
I don't honestly remember.
I have no
But I
idea.
have the first one. And yeah, I don't know. I love a hockey romance. I love any sports romance, really. But it's not like I feel like I have to do them immediately. So that was a book that's just been on my shelf that made it into the TBR jar and was going to get to when I got to it. Then the show came out and everyone was kind of talking about it. And like I said, I was just kind of working away on dresses. So I put it on and it was a short, I think, 8 episode season one, something like that. Like it's through Prime. So it's pretty short. The episodes are good, the story is good. The way that it is done definitely gives more like 90s 2000s era for TV. It's a little cringy, I will be the first to say. However, that nostalgia that I felt of like, oh yeah, like you kind of need to keep watching it. That's how I felt watching it. It was just kind of a feel good story. I'm really excited for the next season. I don't think it lines up with the books, but from what I'm gathering through socials, is that this next season is Allie and Dean's story, who was my favorite by far from the show. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Do I want to read the books now? Yeah. I think the books will be 10 times better than the show was. But the show was good. It was giddy. I was kicking my feet. I was excited to keep watching. Um, it was just easy to get through. Still some heavy topics, but for the most part, very feel good with a touch of like, ooh, this happened and let's talk about it. But really good. I liked it.
Uh,
Do you have an opinion?
Me going back to the deal, I read the deal 2 years ago, and I didn't
Mhm.
continue with the series just because 'cause I'd planned to, and I just didn't. Because like, it just like Callie said, it just didn't wow me. Like, I feel like I devoured Icebreaker,
Mhm.
and then I went to this one, and I was just like, "Meh."
Mhm.
Um, like, I like a hockey romance, don't get me wrong, but also, we all know I struggle with romance so much. It's pretty heavy what happens though.
Mhm.
So that's interesting that it was kind of more so feel good than anything. Because yeah, there's some heavy things that go on in this book. So
Mhm.
there's that. Actually, so I did continue on with the series. Funny enough, I didn't know Callie was watching Off Campus. Like I had no clue.
Mhm.
And I didn't even pull it from my jar. I had just downloaded on Kindle Unlimited and I had finished whatever I was reading. I was like, well, I'm just going to grab a book on my Kindle real quick. And I actually already had The Mistake ready. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to go into that. So funny enough, we correlated our show slash reading without even knowing it. But
Mhm.
The Mistake is Grace and Logan's story. I wanted to love it. It was okay.
Yeah.
I was not wowed. I gave it 3 stars. Um, it's fine. I think. How do I put this without being spoilers? I don't like how she wrote Logan's character of like his brain is so consumed. Like, yes, Logan has his stuff that's going on in his personal life that
Hmm.
he doesn't openly share with most people, but his brain is just like, I'm in college. I should be hooking up. I should be getting laid. And I'm like, dude, can you think about anything other than yourself and sex for 5 seconds? And then it goes, myself, sex, Grace. And you're like, okay. But like, it's always sex with Grace. Wait,
Hmm.
okay, I had sex with her. Now I kind of like her. I'm like, can you just down, boy?
So from this
He's
past
kind of,
weekend, obviously we were together, so we talked about this a little bit, and we were comparing kind of the show to the books. So I don't have the book experience, and she
mm-hmm,
hasn't watched the show, so we were just note wise like, oh well, because that's not the perspective I get on Logan at all. Like Logan, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I, like I said, I haven't read the first book. So you have Hannah and Garrett, and Logan has the hots for
mm-hmm.
Hannah, but then obviously like pulls back because he's like, oh no, Garrett really. So see, like, so to me, Logan
It's
is
explained
very
in Logan's book. He thinks he has the hots for Hannah, but he doesn't.
right. So in the show, he's like kind of into her, but then he kind of pulls back, and really is just a good friend to both of them then. But from my
Mm-hmm.
perspective of Logan, like he's a really down to earth guy. He like, yeah, wants to play pro. He has issues going on at home that you and I talked about, which also doesn't match up, which was confusing. Um,
Mm-mm. Not at all.
yes. So which is why I'm again like, yeah, not super like I need to go read this right now, but I also am just so curious because it doesn't seem to be matching a lot of what's happening in the book to the show. So then I'm like, well then I
Mm-hmm.
need to read the book because the book is going to be better. But I'm also in the middle of Boys of Tommen still, so it's just not priority, but maybe
Yeah.
eventually. Um but yeah, that irks me. And I guess that's to be expected with an adaptation is that they're going to do things slightly different, but annoying.
Right.
Annoying.
It
Don't
is.
change the
It
story.
is hearing this like right, hearing the absolute giant differences. And like, yes, Logan cares about everyone around him and he is like a nice dude. But getting
Hmm.
his inner monologue, I was just like, ew, you just sound
Yeah,
like a horny little teenage boy.
right.
Chill the fuck out and have a normal thought process for once in your life. But even though I haven't finished it yet, I have moved on into the score because everyone seems to love Dean and Allie, and
Hmm.
same exact thing. All he thinks about is sex and getting laid and having threesomes
That
or
does,
foursomes, and you're just like,
yeah,
it checks
that
out.
does check out for me more. Dean is definitely a fuck boy, but I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad.
I'm
Dean
enjoying
and
it
Allie
more
forever.
than the mistake, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I It was also just in the second book, like in the mistake, Grace also at first, like I was like, okay, yeah, you know what you want and you are standing by it. And then it's like it totally gives early 2000s like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, 10 Things I
Hmm.
Hate About You, because she makes Logan a whole list of tasks he has to complete before she'll even consider going out with him again. And they're like the most ridiculously wild things. Like he has to go take like a boudoir photo on a red velvet chase, and he's like, where the fuck
Oh
do you
my
find one
god.
of those? Like, it's silly. I love
Yeah.
that stuff, but then it's like after that she just folds like a deck of cards for him. Like there was nothing else, and I was just like, okay, you lost your backbone, girl.
All of
That's where
that
I'm
to
at. Those
just
are the two
then
books I
go,
read in May.
okay, they're good. They, I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
started on a really low high and then went to something that, yeah, is just easily digestible. And then,
Mhm.
although I've already actually watched this series, since I was just on Prime and I finished off campus, then I just hopped right back on over to The Summer I Turned Pretty, because Connie baby, Connie baby. So Montana got me this beautiful set. It's gorgeous. She's Gorgina. I've actually never read these either. The show was everything to me, and it's just gonna live there. So I don't feel the need. Yeah, no, I'm sure these are great,
That's so
but it
funny because I read
is,
the books and I did not do the show.
yeah, the which we kind of talked about too when I watched them last year. Last summer I finished them, and I don't know, that was, this rewatch was just very much like on in the background, and there would be episodes I would fall asleep through and I would not go back. I was
Mhm.
just like, we're here for the vibes, whatever. I did totally forget how much I really hated when she was with Jeremiah. So
Mhm.
God, that just irks me. But then it gets better because then we come back to Connie Baby. So I'm excited for the movie to come out. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype and just delivers just as well as the show. It definitely has its moments of like, wow, this is really young love, and it's like irritating, on that aspect. But it was just also just an
Mhm.
easy little show to watch, and I don't know, maybe I'll read the books, maybe I won't. Who knows? It just is what it is. We did a lot of,
They're very, very easy.
yeah, we just did a lot of bookish, adaptations this month, and that's okay. That's what my brain had the capacity for, and
Mhm.
so that's where we're at.
Oh, and that's why, like, no, you didn't actually have a book you finished in May, and I still think it's important that we still do these episodes because we've
Hmm.
we've said it so many times that we like to be transparent how we're not those people reading 100 books a year. We're not devouring a book a day. Like it just doesn't
Mm-mm.
happen. And I think it just keeps us so like hopefully relatable, but just like down to earth and real about exactly who we are and what our lives look like. And sometimes we read more books than sometimes we read 4 books in a month, and sometimes we don't read at all. Like it just is what it is. So I think that's why it's so important we still continue to do these.
It's so like true for my life of like the mood reader I am, of like I had so much
Mm-hmm.
stress I mean, I was working, I was transporting kids to and from places, I was helping my husband with things, trying to get dresses done, like so many things that were like added stress that I was like, what can I just put on? And like, because listening to Boys of Tommen, yeah, that doesn't require my hands, but it also required me to like pay attention to the story. And that's a story that I'm not willing to not give my full attention to. So for me, I was just like, I
Right.
can
Yeah, you
watch
can't.
these, yeah, I can watch these little shows, and I could be getting a lot of things wrong and off campus, but to be honest, like I just kind of had it on, and that's okay. Like I might do a rewatch, I might read the books now.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. And I think that's okay too. Like you don't have to know every single detail to enjoy something, whether that's a book or a show or whatever you're consuming. It doesn't have to be your entire personality. It doesn't have to be something that you're obsessed with
Mm-hmm.
and like only talk about that one thing. Like you can enjoy reading in all aspects. Like so yeah, so mood reading, like I we got back from the event, and last night I had started re-listening to Boys of Tommen, or like getting back into Boys of Tommen, and I devoured the rest of that book, Redeeming, and then I started the next one. Well, then I laid in bed and I go, well, I kind of want to read on my Kindle now, so I put a different book on my Kindle. And that is okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
reading just has, it looks different for everyone, and that's okay. And so that's just kind of what we want
Mm-hmm.
to always portray here, is that it doesn't always look the same for everyone, and everyone's day to day and month to month might look different. If you're reading 2 books a year or 200 books a year, you're still a reader. And so that's what matters.
Yep.
That was a big soapbox. I'm going to
Exactly.
step down now.
No, but you're right. It's because it's I feel like people get embarrassed about not having read so many books every year, and it just
Uh-huh.
seems silly at this
It
point.
is. It
Like, it's
really
not a
is.
competition. This is
If
not,
you
you read this many
let
books this
that
summer, you get a pizza party. Like, that's not what we're doing.
if you let that aspect go, I will say like most of my like best most enjoyed reading is 90% of the time like if you've already finished a book and I know that I'm like behind you or we're kind of at the same spot and we can talk about it together, that's when I enjoy it the most
Yep,
is and not in like a
for sure.
competition way like oh I have to catch up to you, but it's just
No.
we're at a similar place so we can talk about the things that we're like currently reading, and that is super fun and not in
Hmm.
like and even that like I can share things about what I've watched or read and you can share things. I mean right now Star Wars, you're like I'm doing this whole rewatch of Star Wars and I love that and I want to get there eventually.
Mm,
It's just not
I love Star Wars.
currently where I'm at on my mood read or mood watch. So I'm like, I'll get there. And when I do, you're
No.
going to be the first person I'm going to text about it, you know, like because it is fun to make
You
the
know, I'm gonna be so
connection.
giddy about it.
I know, but that's what's fun is no matter what you're reading, if you have people that are also reading similar things and you could talk about it, or even if you're telling, I don't know, your best friend who doesn't read or your mom or whoever, like if you can share those things,
Hmm.
that I think is what is like the most important when you read. Like obviously enjoy it for yourself, but then when you get to talk about
Hmm.
it too, it's just like, oh yeah, because I don't know. That's the whole point of books. Like they're stories to be shared. I think. Anyway.
It's a shared passion, and then it's also we can. Well, I caught this. Did you know? Oh, God. Like, did you notice this? Or I thought this part was super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a good way because there's things that like I could have missed that you caught, and you're like, no, Montana, like this happened. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realize, and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So it's like, it's just a whole different world, and books are so perceived differently by the reader. So I think it's really cool that we can share these experiences together, and also that just literally this little book right here, this guy
Mm-hmm.
is the whole reason we are here, the two of us,
Mm-hmm.
with these beautiful
All of
shelves
them.
and the
All of them.
events that we've done and all the cool things. So it's just like, it's more than just the book, you know?
I had a thought and then it left my brain. Um no, I think it's the train left the station. I don't think it's coming back.
What did
That's
I even
fine.
say this? I was like, it's not even off the tracks, it's turned around.
It's off the tracks. It turned around. It's going back to the station. I don't know what you said, but it was so funny. I was like, and it's gone. It's totally
It
gone.
was whole the whole
That just
thing.
happened to me. Yeah, it's gone.
It was gone.
Um.
But I mean, that's our May
Oh,
recap.
I remember.
Um, yeah.
I remember my thought because yes, reading
Mhm.
is perceived differently by each person, and I think you and I are like very good about. You may have enjoyed it, but that doesn't mean. And if I hated it, that's okay. Like I don't think we've ever yucked
Mhm.
each other's yums. You definitely read more
No.
dark romance and romantasy than I read. I read romantasy or fantasy, and then I like a lot of thrillers. We both kind of read sports romance and romance, but like lesser. I would say we're very similar, but there's also times that that's okay. Like you don't have to just because it's a
Mhm.
popular book, just because your best friend told you to read this book. Like if you think, oh well, I hated it and I can't tell her that, just say like, hey, yeah, that book wasn't for me, and they're gonna respect your opinion. It's okay to like different books. That's the whole thing with reading. Is you might
They're
see
not a real
someone
friend if
really
they don't.
right. And you might see someone that really hated a book and then you pick it up and you loved it and you're afraid now to say, well, I loved that book because so and
Mhm.
so didn't like it. Who cares? If you perceived it differently, I also think if
It's
wherever,
subjective.
whenever you're reading a book too, really makes a difference. Whatever's going on in your personal life can definitely sway how you feel
Uh-huh.
about a book while you're reading it. So if it's a book that you hated, but you were like, oh,
Yeah.
why did I not like it? Give it a chance to like reread it. You might enjoy it the second time. Um,
Hmm.
just food for thought because I've had that experience of like, why can't I get into this book? Or wow, this book was terrible. And then I kind of revisit and I'm like, no, it was just the time of my life like that, which is why I'm such a
Hmm.
mood reader. There are definitely times that I'm like, Boys of Tommen right now, I'm like, this is like too heavy, too much added stress, which is a story I get, but you have to be in the right mindset to consume certain things. And remember that when you read.
For
That's all.
sure. Hmm. Absolutely. I think that's it. That's
Yeah.
our May recap.
Which turned into
Still
us
did a
giving you
lot.
all of the
We saw
bookish
each other, so
advice.
that was cool.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for a ball recap on our weekend because we will put something out on that and tell you all the details of all the things, all the fun things we got to do this past weekend when we were together
Hmm.
again. Um, if you really love us and want us to be together even more, like, subscribe, share, all the fun things. And we are trying to figure
Subscribe
out
on YouTube. That's the
subscribe
big
on YouTube.
one.
And then, yeah, we're just trying to figure out what the rest of our year
Oh, we're
looks
on
like.
Facebook
And
too. Go like us on
we are on
Facebook.
Facebook now. Yeah, that's new. But
Hmm.
we're trying to already plan the next adventure because right now we don't have anything. So leaving this time was really sad because there wasn't okay, see you in a month. So
Hmm.
feel bad for us and want
Hmm.
us to hang out more. Go like, subscribe, do all the things.
Please,
That's my plea.
please, low-key begging,
High key begging.
because we just need another weekend of not an event. As much as we love doing and going to events, it's nice when we don't have obligations to be somewhere.
Yeah.
We can take our time getting ready, and we can spend 5 hours doing TikToks like we did when you were last in Arizona. Like, and then we
Yeah.
got the best content out of it.
We
So,
really did. That content, the we did some this past weekend, but it definitely was much harder with time constraints. But we
it
did
was. And we
before
had all these
we went to
ideas,
the
and then we
event.
just stressed.
Yes, before we went to the event, I'll give you a little tidbit here before we actually do our full recap. But we did get to do like all the best friend girly girlhood things. There was hair dye
Hmm.
involved. There was lots of snacks, copious amounts of snacks. There was bed like doom scrolling happening. Um, so it was
Yeah,
that's
all the cuddles.
healing for our hearts, and we just need more of it.
Yeah.
Yep,
We did our
but that's all.
nails. Like,
Did
also,
nails.
this is just funny because I have long nails on right now, and I can't like make a fist, so my hands just go like this, and now we're just that meme. Like,
I did it in the car yesterday. I was dancing and I was like kind of like driving my car though, like fake driving. I don't remember what song. Oh, if you want to go and
yeah.
take a ride with me. And I was doing that and then I was like, I'm
Oh
Montana.
yeah. We're just that meme.
And that is now the photo for
That's
this episode.
Wait, let me stop laughing for a second and I'll do it. Okay. Okay, ready?
Cute. We're adorable. I like that everyone just got to be a part of that.
How have we not taken a photo like that?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
Next time.
stay tuned
That'd be
for
great.
a ball
Yeah.
recap. Yeah.
Ball recap. Thanks for being here. We love and appreciate it. And we'll see y'all in the next one where we recap everything Faye Ball.
Well, bye.
I'm just Oh, bye.
No, you gotta do
Ka-chow.
ciao. Oh my god.
Okay.
Get us off of here.